Keys.
Yeah.
So which ones we have here?
Okay, so we have 3 different species in here, but there's actually a total of 21 different species around the world. So cockatoos are really intelligent. They're highly social animals, which makes it really fun for us. You can see this is Dusty and Charlie. We've got in a little lockaway at the moment. So the reason they're in there is because
get out.
Beck at the moment is just putting some new branches into the enclosure. Now pink cockatoos tend to waddle around on the ground a lot rather than fly. They can fly, they're just not strong flyers. So we don't want them to get stood on whilst Beck is doing that because she's got all the trees. She might not be able to see.
You can't see as well.
So we've taught them to voluntarily step into that little lockaway. Yeah. So if we call them and we point to the lockaway, they'll come up, hop in, and then they get rewarded with one of their favourite treats, which is an almond. Awesome. Yeah. So that's what makes
They do like almonds.
Yes. Wow. Yeah, they love them. Absolutely love them. So we've also been able to teach some of them to station in particular areas in the enclosure. So Minnie, she's our youngest, this cheeky little cockatoo here that's pulling everything back out. They're very entertaining.
The feathers on her head. It's so cute.
What type is that? She's what we call a gang cockatoo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so when we first got her, she tended to fly over and she would sit on our head and sit on our shoulder, and we needed to teach her to not be on us. So we actually would point at a particular place in the enclosure and she would fly there, and we would reward that behaviour.
And what part of Australia is that one? Where do you find her?
Oh, hang on. Here we go.
I'm just thinking, I don't.
So there.
Oh, that's the gang.
Yeah.
So it's in this region as well.
Yeah.
I haven't actually seen them in the wild.
No, I've never seen one in the wild either. So numbers of cockatoos are declining.
Yes.
Yeah, and some of them are at a point where they're now endangered. And this is because of
so adorable.
It's generally because of land clearing
and
fires. So we had a lot of fires here in 2019 and 2020, and that really affected the number of nesting sites for our cockatoos.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah. So there's immense competition in the wild for nesting sites for cockatoos. So their numbers are actually declining.
I think this cheeky cocky took everything out.
I know. She's very cheeky.
Destructive.
So as I said, Dusty and Charlie over there in our lockaway, they're pink cockatoos.
So is that the name? Pink cockatoo?
Yes, so they used to be called Major Mitchell. They actually had a name change. I think it was 2000 and it was either 2020 or 2023. It was recently.
Because I only know them as the Major Mitchell.
Yeah.
I used to live in up north past Bendigo.
Okay.
In Serpentine, and I remember seeing those Major Mitchells coming and just distracting the lawn. Or
so they were named after
a major?
Not yes, but he killed a lot of Aboriginals.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
They've changed the name back to pink cockatoos.
Oh.
So our gang cockatoos, these guys here.
Yes.
So we have 3 of those in the enclosure. We have a breeding pair,
nice.
Violet and Crumble are our breeding pair. And we also have Minnie. So Minnie was the cheeky one who
was inside there.
Yeah.
And you could identify them now.
Yes.
They look the same. I thought that was that one.
The male, he has a very distinctive red head. So he was the one that you pointed out earlier.
Yes.
Whereas the female lacks the red head.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I love these black ones.
Yeah, so they're called our red-tailed black cockatoo.
Red-tailed black?
They have blue.
So the difference, again, this is a breeding pair as well.
Yes.
This is their first season together though, so we'll just have to see how they go.
If they,
Yeah.
Do they usually keep the same pair, partnership?
Yep, they pair for life.
Pair for life,
Yep.
Oh, that's adorable.
Yeah. So this is our male Antonio. He's our
on the
oldest
left.
cockatoo here, so he's 28 years old.
Wow.
But they can live anywhere between 40 and 70 years of age. So he's quite young still.
Wow.
They can live a very long time. Yeah. So he's all black and he's got this big thick red barring through his tail.
Yes.
And then we've got our female Aurora here. So
Female, she's got more patterns on here.
yeah, so she's got yellow dots through her head and her wings, and then that yellow barring through her chest as well. And these guys have such powerful beaks, extremely powerful. So they eat seeds that come out of hard seed pods. Like you can see here, here's one of them here. So you can see they'll open those up using their really strong beak.
Oh, those ones.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they'll extract the seeds out of those. So they're
That's
extremely
amazing.
powerful. And they also, when they're nesting in trees, they'll use their beaks to kind of carve out a tree hollow that's appropriate size for them.
That's so cute.
So they.
You're trying to bite the steel.
Yeah.
I wonder if we get that one done as well.
So any sort of enrichment that we do give them, you'll notice these metal containers around the enclosure. Everything has to be metal because if it's plastic or it's wood, they will chew through it in about 5 minutes.
So you just have these 3 types?
Yeah, these 3
There's a little
species.
birdie right
Yeah.
Which one is, I remember there was the red tail and they, oh my god, I keep missing when it flies. You know when it flies, you see the red?
Yes.
I know there's
There
the
is a
red
yellow
tail and
tail.
a yellow tail.
Yes, there's a yellow tail as well.
I keep forgetting, one was more endangered than the other. Was it, or they're both the same?
I'm not sure. I haven't been here that long, so I don't know about that. I'm not
Sometimes
sure.
you just hear things or it's just, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Which
So-
one, Jenna?
There are a couple of
Oh,
things.
you got a little
Oh, that's a wild bird. That's a minor.
free coming in.
Minor. Yeah.
Oh, he comes in and out.
Yeah, it's a wild bird.
Oh, that's cool. Pinching the food.
So there are a couple of things that we can do to help these birds.
Yeah.
Because as we mentioned, their numbers are declining.
Yes.
So the first thing is if you do have any of these old trees that you can see behind us.
Oh, yes.
So these are old dying trees. So a lot of the time that they're not the prettiest things in the world. So
But
they
just to
are,
keep them.
Yeah.
That's
they're
where they
getting-
do the nesting.
Correct. Yeah. As I said, there's so much competition for them out in the wild. So if anyone's got these at home, we recommend keeping them.
Yes.
And the other thing that we can do is actually buy recycled toilet paper. So toilet
Good
paper
for
is
the trees.
it's the only type of paper that's not recyclable. So that means that we're pulling down trees purely for its production. And recycled toilet paper is made out of things like office paper and textbooks and things like
Okay,
that.
so don't use toilet paper.
No.
Sorry, it just has to be said.
No. But that's going to keep the trees in the ground and hopefully more nesting sites for these guys.
Yeah, so
The one with the red head is the male.
So, and there's 3 of them. So the
Yep,
one
there's
male and
3
2
of them.
females.
There's a breeding pair and then there's a cheeky young one who's 2 years old.
Ah,
Yeah, her name is Minnie.
that's the mini one.
Cheeky one.
Yes,
Like you,
very
Chana.
cheeky.
Oh, when she was a baby, she was like tiny, so we called her Minnie.
Oh, really?
So every time we see
You
Minnie, it's
cheeky
like,
as
that's you. I love the red hair. Now I can actually
Yeah.
see. You mentioned I didn't pay
Yeah, it's
attention.
very distinctive. You can't miss it.
Yeah. It's sad that I haven't actually seen one in the wild
No,
before.
I've never seen one either.
That's just amazing. It's very nice, the setup and everything. It's beautiful.
Yeah. We have a
Collect
pile
the
of-
feathers
We have a pile of feathers out the back in the lunchroom.
for
some of
decoration, or
yeah, some of our keepers put them in their hat, or Yep.
it's worth a keep. Don't scare him. Wow, look at him.
Oh, and there's even a wallaby inside.
Hey.
How did he get in
Well,
there?
that's a nice bird.
Oh, look how big it is.
Wow, that's so nice. He looks a bit unsettled.
I know.
His ears are back. Oh, maybe he wants a pat. Don't pat him. Look at that. Look how he walks. Ding, ding,
He's
ding.
like,
Hey, look. He walks like a supermodel. His back legs are like going
I think
in line.
it's like he's thinking about something.
Yeah.
He's thinking about what to do next. Okay, he just stopped. Now he's
I wonder if they feed him by hand or... Look at the footprints. You can see the prints on the sand.
kinda big.
Yeah, so next time we go out, if we see these little claw prints, we know it's a wombat.
big wombat.
Look, it's got dirt on its back.
Yeah, it must be digging for a while.
It would be. Do you know, the only time I've seen one in the wild was a dead one. They get hit by cars sometimes.
Yeah.
You see that, Chana? You see how he digs?
Okay, Mama, let's go somewhere else.
Okay. See the food? They give him all these like fruit, vegetables and seeds. Isn't it amazing? He's eating. Look how he grabs it. He grabs a few and he's chewing. Must be feeding time. Wow. Oh, and a budgie. Oh my gosh. They're so nice. Look at the budgies.
Oh, look at the birds on top too.
Oh wow. That's nice. He's the scratchy koala. Yeah, that's funny. Ding 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 ding.
The other one is sitting there.
Look how much fluff in its ears.
I know, it's so cute. Okay, I think it's going back to sleep now.
So nice, the mannerisms. Back to sleep again. You know they're drunk. I can't see it.
There's a walking koala.
Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Oh, here it is.
He's walking so fast.
He must be young or something. Look how much energy he has.
Look at it go. Da,
Ding,
da,
ding, ding,
da,
ding.
da. It's going back in the bushes again.
Does his own little loop-de-loop. Here he is. Whee!
Funny. It's doing the energy. Okay, now just stop.
He's like, oh, breathe. Take a breather now. You did great, little dude. Look at you.
I think he's been walking like that for super long.
Oh, back again.
Okay,
Ding, 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 ding. Have a rest and comes through. Whee! Ha!
Is he gonna stop down again? Oh, there's baby. There's a baby one. Wait, did they actually fight?
Yeah.
Look at that cool door. What do you think?
It must be the male.
It is. True.
Yeah?
I wish we had a camera to take out these pictures and print them on the wall inside. Okay, I think we've seen the koalas.
Let's see if they do something. He's the cranky old man. He's hiding his head.
It's sketchy as though.
Wow, you can see how it's grabbing the eucalyptus leaf. He's doing it. Ding, ding, ding. They look so fluffy. Oh wow. This is his hand, see, to grip the branch, and he's selecting a leaf.
Yeah, he's
Sniffing him first.
what leaf he wants.
He's spoiled brat.
Oh, that was walking on the... Okay. I wonder if he's gonna climb on top.
Wow. He grips it with his hand. You see that?
I want to see the other one being energetic again and running up and down.
Yeah, it's so adorable.
That one's pulling.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wonder
It
if
is
their poo
shaky.
smells like eucalyptus.
Mama.
Ah, I'm just saying. Do you know what the interesting is? Oh, he's looking at us. He looks just like those little koalas that you can buy in the store.
No, it's so fluffy.
Welcome to Moonlit Sanctuary and welcome to our koala keeper talk today. My name is Lockie.
Closer
I'm
again.
here to talk to you today about
Oh, sorry,
some
sorry.
of Australia's best animals. I'm not biased at all, guys. These guys are seriously one of our best animals. How
No.
can they not be? They are ridiculously cute with their big noses and their fluffy ears. They are one of Australia's most recognisable animals. And it is a privilege to be able to share them with you today and hopefully teach you maybe a thing or two about them as well along the journey. Now, before I start rattling off facts to you though, I'm going to introduce you all to our koalas here at Moonlit. Joining me in here today, we have 4 of our wonderful koalas.
Okay, I got put on the floor.
Right here being an absolute superstar, we have got Cyclops.
okay, you
Cyclops
have to
is
be
an
here.
11-year-old female koala. She's also one of my favourites. We don't play favourites, but she's one of my favourites. Hiding up the back there, we have Mo. Now, Mo is quite a lucky boy. He's 4 years old, and he shares this enclosure with Cyclops as well as 2 other lovely, lucky ladies. Well, he's the lucky man, I should say. So he's got his 3 girlfriends in here today. Sitting below him, we have got Sophie. Sophie is our oldest koala here at Moonlit Sanctuary. She is 12 years old, but that doesn't stop her. She's got a heart of gold, and she isn't letting her age get to her. She is a very spry koala when she chooses to be. Gets up and about. She might make her way over at some stage. And then sitting right at the top here, we have got Millie, our sweet, lovely lady. She is 10 years old. And as you can see, she's a little bit more reserved. She prefers to come over on her time, not mine. So she's probably just going to stay up there with her back to all of you guys, hiding away. That's all good. Some of you may have just come from our encounters. Our enclosure at the back there to your right is Victor's. He's not in there at the moment. You may have just come from meeting him. Victor is our handsome 7-year-old boy. He is absolutely wonderful, a little troublemaker. He's constantly following us around. He's very curious. If a keeper's in there doing work, he will be right under their feet the whole time. Now, right behind you just here, we have our 2 golden girls. We have Melly and Gumnut. They are 10 and 9 respectively, and they are our absolute superstars. Poster children for our koala encounters, you could say. Little rock stars in their own right. They know when it's encounter time, and they're practically banging down the door to come on out to meet everyone. Now lastly, hiding in this enclosure just to my right and your left over here, we have Alfie. Alfie is our kind boy. He's a very sensitive soul. I believe he's about 6 years old, don't quote me on that. Somewhere in the vicinity of 6. Hello Mo. He heard there was food on offer and he's come on over to say hello. But he doesn't want that one.
He's so cute.
What about this one?
There you go.
Come on down. But yes, we have Alfie in the far enclosure just over there. He's a little bit hard to spot from far, he's a little bit shy, sort of like Millie, they're quite reserved. Most not having any of it. So if you do have a little bit of time, you might be able to spot Alfie right down the end there. Down there, there you go. I'm not going to hold it for you. But anyway, that is our koalas. Now, our koalas on average in the wild live about 8 to 12 years. In our sanctuaries though, they live about 15 to 18 years. Mogi's decided the selection I've given is not good enough. Now, our koalas here and out in the wild, they need 3 important things for their survival. Mo thinks I'm just going to hold it for him. There you go. You've got to do a little bit of work, Matt. They need 3 important things for their survival. They need a good source of food, they need a good source of water, and they need a great place to park their bottoms at the end of the day. Now, fortunately for them, their eucalyptus trees have them covered. Now, our koalas, as you can see, these 2 fine koalas doing, they love to eat. They absolutely chow through their food when they decide to eat it. They can eat up to, on average, about 1/10 of their body weight every day in these wonderful eucalyptus leaves. Now, these leaves are the only thing that they eat. They evolve specifically to eat it. They have a microbiome in their gut specifically for breaking down the toxins in our eucalyptus leaves. So they're the only animal that will eat it as their main food source. And they can eat anywhere in the range of about 1/2 kilogram to 1 kilogram of leaves per day, which is quite a lot, especially when you consider just how much a leaf weighs. Now, that as they love to eat, Cyclops.
It's pulling for more.
Very well trained. She knows what she wants, and she knows I will give it. You can see these guys are being the stars of the show, and it's not me. Cyclops is hot and come and nose. If you 2 play nice, we can make that happen. No? Not this one. But yes, they love to eat, and whilst they are here eating, you will notice that they smell their leaves before they eat them. Now, this is them putting their wonderful nose into good use. Their nose is specifically designed to help them eat the very best leaves. Our koalas can smell all sorts of things going on in this leaf. Things like our nutrient contents, the water level, even things such as the quality of the soil that the tree was grown in. They can smell all of this and they'll distinguish which leaves are the very best for their diet. They'll eat those ones and they will leave everything else behind. As you can see, obviously the tree that I have gone and grabbed these leaves from wasn't up to their standards and they wanted something a little bit nicer. Now, our koalas, they love to eat, and these guys, all that food that they eat has to go somewhere. So our koalas love to poo. Our koalas, on average, can do anywhere from 100 to 200 poos, and they look exactly like this. I'm going to walk one around right now for you all. So this here is a koala poo. It's about the size of a jelly bean. A very small poo, but they do anywhere from 100 to 200 of these poos per koala per day. So as you can imagine, I have my work out every morning coming in to clean up. In this enclosure, at least anywhere from 400 to 800 poos. So that is a little koala poo. Now you may notice I'm not wearing gloves to hold these ones. That's because our koala poo is not that gross at all. Koala poo is mostly just undigested and unprocessed plant matter from their eucalyptus leaves, so it is quite nice. You can see it's got that very green colour in the middle, similar to that of the eucalyptus, and it also smells quite refreshing. Some of you may have gotten a whiff of me as I walk past, and yes, I do use koala poo as my cologne every day. Now, the second thing our koalas need for their survival is a good source of water. Fortunately for them, their leaves have them covered once again. Here in Australia, most of our indigenous languages word for koalas roughly translates to no drink, and this is because koalas are rarely, if at all, seen drinking from a body of water. They get all of their leaves from their eucalyptus leaves. By mass, it's about 60 to 80% water in our eucalyptus leaves. So These guys, they don't need to drink at all. The only time you might see a koala drinking out in the wild is if they're feeling a little bit unwell. Maybe they're not meeting their water needs or during a period of drought. These two are sharing quite nicely. So I have more of it. If you want to share, you can share. As long as you behave yourselves, that's all that matters. But yes, so they get all of their water from their leaves as well. There you go, mate. You can have the last one. Oh, excuse me.
Big claws.
Hopefully they behave now that I've run out. They might get a little bit jealous. And Cyclops, you can see he is just taking over. We all know it's the ladies that control relationships, not the boys. And she's going, I'm having some of that, thank you. Lastly, our koalas, they need a great place to sit at the end of the day. And as if you can pick up on the little theme I'm going on for today, our eucalyptus trees have them covered once again. Koalas are considered an arboreal species. They live up in the trees. And this is where they spend the vast majority of their time. So much so that they have adapted specifically for life up in the trees. As you can see, these two are trying to figure out where the food's coming from now. What about this one? Can you share this? Fine by me. So yes, they do live up in the trees, and they are specifically adapted for life up here. Not only do they have those really nice sharp claws for grabbing into those, the bark of those trees to stay nice and comfortable, they also have two opposable thumbs on each hand. You might be able to see Cyclops' hand there for everyone on this side. She has those three fingers, and then she has two thumbs coming around the other side. This is just to make sure she has that better grip strength in order to hang on and climb around in all the trees. In addition to this, our koalas also have a nice bony plate in their bottoms, similar to that of the wombats. They share a common ancestor. Whilst wombats use this bony plate to defend their burrows from predators, our koalas use it, like Millie's demonstrating, to wedge themselves into the forks of trees where they can stay nice and comfortable for hours at a time. This bony plate has no nerve endings in it, so they don't feel a thing. They wedge themselves right in nice and comfortable and then sit and sleep all day long. Now, in addition to living up in the trees with all those amazing adaptations, they do have a few others that are important for their survival. Hello, Sophie. Coming down on the ground to say hello, that's a bit unusual. Normally she'll walk her way around, but today she's decided to take the short route. So yes, koalas, as an arboreal species, they typically spend all their time in the trees. They do come down every now and again as well, typically just to move from tree to tree without doing a nice big jump. And she's going around to say hi by the looks of things, show off a little bit. But yes, in addition to those adaptations, they do have a few others. They have their big nose, which I talked about. They also have their wonderful ears. These aren't just for show and being very cute and very marketable in the form of plush toys. They do serve a purpose, and that is to listen out for other koalas and figure out what's going on around them. Now, our koalas typically use this mostly to listen in on the boys. Our koalas, whilst they've been very quiet today, they do have quite a unique vocalization. It is called a bellow. Momo doesn't want to show off today. A bellow, typically the boys do it more than the girls, and it's their mating call. It's how they show off and impress the ladies. It sounds like a deep, sort of guttural, burpy, mooing noise. Normally when I start talking about it, one of the boys pipes up, but we might be out of luck today. But yes, it's a big burpy mooey noise, and they will do that to impress the ladies, and that's how they show off their size. So the bigger and larger a koala is, the deeper that sound is going to be, and that's how they impress the ladies. The ladies will tune in and they'll listen to all the boys in the area, and they'll go, actually I like the sounds of this guy, he sounds like a big strong man that will be able to protect me. And that is how the boys win the ladies over. He does have a very nice fellow, but I think he's a little bit self-conscious at sharing it off at the moment. So hopefully he decides at some stage he wants to pipe up for that one. Now, if our boys are able to impress the ladies, we might have some joeys on our hands. Now, it is breeding season at the moment for our koalas. Breeding season lasts from September through to the end of February, so it is not too late for us to have some joeys here at Moonlit. We do have our fingers crossed. Let's say, for example, one of our girls took a fancy to Mo and we had some joeys. Koala gestation, firstly, only lasts 35 days. But what they give birth to is a little fetus the size of a jelly bean, about the size of those poos that I walked around before. It is blind, it is deaf, but it has 2 arms and a nose, and it knows where to go, which is up into mum's pouch for a wonderful drink of milk. Our koala joey will crawl up into mum's pouch and drink milk for another 6 to 8 months and continue to develop until it starts looking a lot more like a baby koala that we might have seen online. They are ridiculously cute. When our joey does poke its head out though, it's going to have a look around at mum eating all those nice juicy leaves, and it's going to go, hey mum, I've been stuck in here drinking milk for months now. I want to get on this nice yummy leaves. How do I go about doing that? Unfortunately for the joey, they have to eat something quite gross before they get to start eating those leaves, and that is something called pap. Now, does anybody here know what pap is?
Poo.
Poo.
Sorry.
Poo, it is poo. So our koala joeys do have to eat mum's poo for a week. Unfortunately, it is not those nice pellets that I showed off earlier. No, it is something much worse. It is mum's diarrhea. So she'll have a big runny poo and smear it all the way up her belly, and our joey will lick that up for about a week, and this is how they get that nice microbiome in order to digest and break down the toxins.
How is it, Jenna?
So mum gives it to them, just not in a very nice way.
Yeah. Oh, it's been scratching.
Now, our koalas, hopefully you have listened to me today and you have started to gain an understanding of how important our eucalyptus trees are for them. Not only is it their source of food, it is also their source of water, and it is where they live and be cute and thrive. Unfortunately though, for our koalas, things, anthropogenic factors, so things like, excuse me, bushfires and habitat loss are impacting their survival, so much so that here in Victoria our koalas are considered a threatened species now, and up north in New South Wales and Queensland they are considered endangered. So the best thing we can do to help our koalas is make sure their nice big eucalyptus trees stay up and standing, so they have a nice place to eat, sleep and make wonderful cute babies. Now the best way we can do that is if you have a green thumb, you can go on out and help plant some trees. A lot of excuse me, sort of nature organisations, that sort of thing, they encourage people to come on out. They do a bunch of work.
Look how it's moving. Where's its head? Oh, there's its head.
Look how creepy it looks.
Look at that. Oh, that's that.
My name is Callum, and I would like to welcome you to experience conservation in action. I am a passionate nature lover, and I assume because you are here that you are curious to discover more about our diverse and fascinating country. I would like to introduce a fellow nature lover to help guide us along our journey.
Hello everyone, my name is Siobhan and I too am super excited to introduce some of our unique wildlife to you all today. But before we get started, Callum and myself would like to invite you all to join us on appreciating one of the best things that the Aussie bush has to offer. And all we have to do is take a nice, deep, very dramatic breath together. Are you ready?
Excellent work, everyone. You've just taken in oxygen. Keep that up. This oxygen has been made by the beautiful trees surrounding us and is just one of the free gifts that our ecology offers and supports all animals that call Australia home.
From the iconic characters like Blinky Bill the koala who lives up in the old gum trees, to Skippy the bush kangaroo who rests in the shade beneath them. You might have already met some of these animals out in the park today.
These famous characters are just the beginning, and they belong to a fascinating family tree of animals unique to our island continent, the marsupials. Marsupials are mammals that are born very small and need to climb up into their mother's couch, which is where they live until they grow too big for her to carry, just like Bailey, the yellow-bellied glider.
Gliders, like Bailey, are colony animals, and they live in small family groups that call the tree hollows home. When you are at home brushing your teeth and getting ready to snuggle up in bed, this is when Bailey and his friends are coming out to play. And they've got a pretty cool way of travelling around in the moonlight. Now, I'm going to take a guess and say most of us probably got to Moonlit today by car, maybe even by bus. But I think Bailey's mode of transport is way cooler, because you could actually say that he's into some pretty extreme sports. And Bailey's extreme sporty choice is actually skydiving. The gliders will use the treetops as a platform to launch themselves off of, and they will gracefully glide to the surrounding branches. They do so in search of their supper, which includes insects, pollen and nectar, just like I've got in my syringe. And we're going to see if Bailey wants to show off his very special talent today, once he cleans his little beak. Alright Bailey, are we ready? No, we're going to have a toilet break first, that's okay, it's important to lighten the load. Yellow-bellied gliders can actually glide for up to 100 metres. And to do these incredible acrobatics, good job Bailey, just like that. They have got the special built-in parachute. They have got a membrane that connects their front legs to their back legs. So keep an eye out as Bailey glides, you might be able to see it. It's very, very cool to see. Now Bailey's also going to be using that long fluffy tail of his, and this is actually acting like a rudder. So this is helping him to steer to make sure that he lands those glides exactly where he wants to. Little Bailey, he is only 2 years old. He's still quite a young glider, and he's still learning how to perfect these glides. So as he learns, we're keeping it nice and easy for him, starting off with some baby steps, making sure that he's feeling nice and confident before we move on to some slightly more challenging glides. All right, Bailey. I think he's doing a pretty good job. Well done, Bailey. Now, unfortunately, yellow-bellied gliders, they are considered a threatened species here in Victoria. Their main threats include habitat destruction, which is the loss of suitable trees that they find their food in, as well as the same trees that they need to find tree hollows. Good job, buddy. Now, as humans, we use trees in our daily lives to build our own homes, but we often forget just how much our wild friends need them as well. Amazingly though, there is something we can all do to help, and it's really, really simple. When I go to the supermarket, I love to purchase recycled paper products like recycled toilet paper. Now this is a really easy switch on my part. It's just a matter of picking up a different packet than what I might be used to. But it can make a world of difference for Bailey and all of his wild friends, because it means we can keep the old growth trees that they need so much, and we can save all of those resources so that they have a nice safe space to snuggle back up, to go back to sleep before the sun comes out again.
The other side.
Now, from one little legend to another, we would like to introduce an icon with a reputation as big and as bold as our beautiful country.
Which side?
That side.
Oh, looks like Archie.
Amber have amazing distinct, often heard and not seen, as their haunting howl travels across our landscape. From the vast outback to the misty alpine forests, they are even beach combers, strolling our coastlines on the hunt for anything else. This fantastic talent of saying yes to anything the land offers meant they were able to not just survive, but thrive, using their killer instincts, clever brains, and amazing talent. Now, although she may look like your pet dog at home, dingoes like Amber, they are actually more closely related to wolves. And they are a relatively recent arrival on our shores, arriving 4,000 to 5,000 years ago with Asiatic seafarers. They looked for all opportunities on offer, and made themselves a home. Now, if you were to put your dog alongside a dingo, they may look similar at first glance, but there are some striking differences. With longer, sharper teeth, bigger brains, stronger jaws, and breathtaking agility that gives them the edge as efficient predators. They also love networking, and they are very social. So, is this dingo a true Aussie icon or a feral invader? Well, they asked. Good girl. Science tells us that their genes are distinct from any other canine species.
So cute.
Good girl. And they have a huge impact on our landscape. They help to keep kangaroo and wallaby populations healthy by weeding out the sick and the injured animals. And in this way, they perform a valuable service to our wildlife. Now, the dingo's ability to make the most of a challenging and changing landscape has brought them into conflict with farmers. Livestock may be on the menu for the dingo, but so are many other animals, like introduced rabbits, rodents, pigs, cats, and foxes. By controlling plant eaters that munch their way through our forests and destroy our soil, dingoes are helping our wildlife to remain healthy.
Dingoes are good.
Nature is complex, and dingoes, they play many vital roles. Are they the villains or the heroes? Nice hero talking about. Our ability to see them for what they truly are and support them to function in balancing our landscape means we can all continue to share this space and we can all thrive together. Australian animals, they need to be on the lookout 24/7 because threats can come in all shapes and sizes and from any direction. That could be a ground assault or it could be an aerial attack.
Who is he?
He's not aerial attack. There we go. There's our aerial attack. Now, when you are out in the Aussie bush, you may hear some curious noises. The unique clicking of cicadas, the howl of a dingo, maybe even the scurrying of a small mammal seeking food in a leaf litter. But one sound you won't hear is a barking owl flying overhead in search of its dinner. Owls, like Ringo, have the ability of silent flight, courtesy of the special soft edges along their feathers. This soundless grace is precisely what makes them such phenomenal predators, and we like to think of them as masters of stealth. Now, most of us think that owls hoot, but the barking owl has often been mistaken at dusk for a dog in the distance, when really, they are finely honed hunting machines getting ready for their nocturnal quest. But really, the barking owl has an unfair advantage. With huge eyes that go deep into their skull, they may appear to be looking into your soul, but their true talent is seeing great detail in low lighting. In fact, Ringo's eyes may even have better definition than the lenses
He's barking.
today. This is useful when they start their night shift at dusk, when animals are settling in for the night or maybe just waking up.
But people duck because
This
this.
during the day, expertly spotting an unwary bird in the shadowy reaches of a leafy forest habitat. When Ringo spots her prey, her wings will unfurl, and those special soft edges act like built-in silencers, so that surprise is on her side and she's ready to pounce. Decided to go on an adventure today. But once she has spotted that prey, she's going to swoop down and grasp it with some very strong talons before she takes it up to a branch to devour it with her very sharp beak. Now, barking owls, they actually offer a safer form of rodent management than basic poisons ever could. They are nature's free pest control service. They restore balance to our ecosystems by minimizing invasive species just by going about their nightly business. And I'm sure we could all agree that rodents are far better off in the stomach of a barking owl, just like Ringo, rather than running around.
Oh no, she's going farther away.
Now I'm going to let Helen figure out what Ringo is doing, but I think it is extremely amazing how all of these trees can provide our animals with everything they need, not just to survive, but also to thrive. And how these same trees provide us with the fresh, crisp air that we all breathe. There are so many things that we can do to give back to nature. And I know I mentioned it earlier, but I really do love using things like recycling toilet paper, or even bringing my keep cup with me wherever I go. We can do lots of other things like planting native trees in our garden, finding lots of those native species to support our wildlife, and this can be really beneficial as well. Now, if we take a look over to our left, you'll see a magnificent eucalyptus tree. Let's say that this tree represents all the other trees here in Australia. It has several hollows that many of our creatures actually call home. That's not all it does. It offers food for koalas, possums, birds, insects, and flying foxes. It provides sanctuary and shelter for dingoes,
Mama, the owl flew away.
Yes, I can see him.
escape the harsh
Yeah,
environments
I
of
can
the
see it
jungle.
too now.
And on bright sunny days, we can all take advantage of its generous
We now are completely close.
Now, you too can help save the life source of our ecosystems. And you've already made a start. Just by being here today, you are helping us with our vital work to ensure that conservation can continue to equal action. We would like to thank you for visiting your Moonlit sanctuary. We invite you to
got it?
head back out into the park
I think they
to
did.
explore some more. Make your
Yeah, they got
discoveries,
it back
and we'll
again.
see you all again next time to continue on our journey. Thank you, nature lovers.
Woo, got it. Whee! Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Well, Cougar's coming here.
It's scary. I want to feed it, but I can't.
Remember, I wanted to figure out what these animals were, huh?
Goosies.
The
We're
goose.
gonna find the goosies. So I'm not gonna feed you the kangaroo food. Mama. Mama.
Oh my god, that is scary.
He's attacking me. Look at the cute duckies.
I don't know what they are. We have to ask them what type of they are.
Hello, duckies.
And duckies.
How many duckies there are?
And I mean, there are heaps of duckies. It's soft.
Yeah. I already saw.
And does it bite you when it eats the
No,
food?
it doesn't bite at all.
And you have Frankie the second behind you.
Yeah, he's breaking something.
Those long legs. It's so funny. They bend backwards. Like a spider legs or something. Like a daddy long legs. Oh, look at the other bird inside. The kingfisher. Yeah. I wish I could get like a close up, but it's too much wiring to get a proper picture. There he is. Here's the kingfisher.
Here you go, Puff Puff.
That's beautiful.
Here you go, Puff.
Oh, now I'm recording. Okay. I wasn't recording. Alright, I'm back on again.
Oh, but it's still so soft.
You can pat it again. It's cute. So. He didn't mind you doing that? I can't believe it.
No, he doesn't mind. He doesn't care. I want to feed a
No,
kangaroo.
oh wait.
I think the other one wants it.
You can put more in your hand. What happened?
Bite.
Yeah? Yeah. Take some more, take some more. Yeah. Put it in your hand.
Just a tiny touch. Okay.
Okay. Read the other one. Look at that. It's so cute.
That one's fat. Being pampered.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to take this
Leave it on the head. Just go on the side of the body, I think, will be better. Like that, yeah. Yeah, take it out of the corner. You need two hands, Jenna.
I know.
Yeah, let me give you some. Put your hand up for the other wallaby. He might come towards you.
Oh, it's coming, it's coming, it's
Look,
coming.
it's coming towards you.
Mama.
Then put your foot forward. Put your hand forward. Put your hand forward. There you go. I'm really feeding too. Ah, the duck is chasing this bird. You're doing great, Jenna.
Okay, I think you had enough food now.
Oh, and the ducks come and clean up afterwards.
Okay, I think that's enough food.
What do you mean enough? Okay, find another one. It's so cute with the...
I'm not interested in my hand.
Yeah, it's coming.
Oh, he's so fast.
This is the older one, huh? I have more here, sweetheart.
Okay, they ate everything.
Do you want some more? Okay, put your hands together. There you go.
Look how fast he's eating.
He's giving you the cold shoulder.
No, the other one's empty as well, Jenna. Look at the other one. Put that one in there and I'll refill it.
They last for both.
Our hands together, fingers together. I'm used to eating from the cups. Look how quick he is, huh?
And this one too. They're like having a competition.
I think there's a kangaroo down there.
Really?
Yeah, you want to feed a kangaroo. Still need to have something left for kangaroo, huh?
Okay, let's go feed kangaroo.
Hmm?
How much have I used? Wow, I used so much.
Look at this one, it's cute. It's so nice. You
Oh,
bring
they
the
ate so
kangaroo.
fast.
What's the other ones? Yeah, some more in your hands. Okay?
Yeah. Oh, he's dropping them.
Don't worry, the other ones are eating him. Oh, it's so cute, huh?
I get to feed the kangaroo. He's taking so long to munch on them.
You want more?
He's getting pampered. They have red kangaroo. This is not a red kangaroo.
No. These are Eastern brown.
See, the red kangaroo was down in the middle.
You didn't want to be interrupted, huh? Can I hear some more? You want to feed the kangaroo?
The red kangaroo is gone.
We can come back later. Save a few pieces and we come back later for it. Hello. I gotta take a picture with you with it. Oh, yeah, you're so cute. I don't know, no.
You can touch it.
You want to do some more? Wait, put some more on.
Okay, he doesn't need any more.
Okay, put it in here.
Wait, I can give.
Oh, they're skittish. Oh, they're so cute.
Oh, Mama, it's the bird lady.
Yeah, it is a bird lady.
Hey, don't put your claws on me.
The sharp claws?
Yeah. Can you go other tiny wallaby? Man, it is so slowly.
Doesn't want to have the corn. What's the other one? They've got a smaller mouth. They can't eat so quickly.
They don't like corn. Okay,
Really?
maybe this one will have some corn.
Hey, Channa, there's 4 animals in here. Did you spot them all?
I spot
You got the... Well, I'm not going to pronounce all this. Did you see the yellow-bellied glider and the squirrel glider?
No.
We have to find them in here, huh? Remember we fed them at nighttime zoo. Look up the top. Look at him. We're looking for the echidna,
Yeah.
but we can't find it, can we, Jenna?
One more.
Oh, there it is. It's in there.
1 o'clock
Yes,
exactly.
it is one.
Thank you. So my name's Ben. I'm one of the threatened species keepers here at the sanctuary. So if you've been around the park a bit today, you've probably seen a lot of our famous Australian animals. There are a bunch of kangaroos just laying out behind you on the grass over there.
Yeah,
We have our
trying to
fluffy
feed some.
koalas down on the corner. Did you try feed them?
Yeah,
Yeah, did you get to? Or
I did.
you did? Very cool. But our threatened species are the ones that I look after. So a threatened species is an animal that's endangered, I guess. So there aren't very many of them left in the wild. A lot of them are quite close to extinction. So my job is to look after 2 of our critically endangered animals. If you have a look over here, we've got some TV screens showing one of them. They're called the Keeler. They're a very small Australian native mice. We've also got some recorded footage here of them in their enclosures. So if you'd like to come on and have a look, feel free. But they're pretty small, cute little animals. They're about that big or so. They only weigh about 20 grams. They're completely nocturnal, unfortunately, so I can't actually show them to you physically. That's why we've got the TV screens here for you to have a look at. But they're very cute. They dig little burrows in the sand where they sleep in during the day, and then they come out at night when we're all sleeping. But we have a breeding program for them here that we've just started in the last 2 years, where we breed them here and then we release them back into the wild to hopefully help out their little wild friends. And the other animal that we work with here, or I work with specifically, is the orange-bellied parrot. They look like this. And we do have some in the enclosure down here. So you can actually come down and have a look if you'd like and try and find them. You can see one on the floor. Oh, he's just run off.
Oh yeah, I see
Under the bushes in the bottom right over there. And they do also share the enclosure with this little lady over here, the black-winged stilt. She has 2 legs, I promise. She's a very cool little bird. So she's got really long legs, as you can see. And that's because she loves really shallow water. That's her favorite thing, is to just walk around in shallow water and pick up all the bugs in the water. That's her favorite food. So she's got 2 really long skinny legs. One of them looks like it's gone right now, but I promise it's just inside her feathers. So her knees bend the opposite way to ours, and then she just tucks her leg up into her feathers and hides it away. And then she turns her head around 180 degrees and she rests her beak on her back. And this is actually how she likes to go to sleep. So she can sit on the ground, but it's a bit uncomfortable for her, so she just prefers to stand there like that. And when she gets tired, she'll just swap legs and do the same thing all over again. But she can stand like that for 30 minutes to an hour quite easily, and she does not get tired. But she's not as endangered as the orange-bellied parrots or the paquilas. They're still classed as common in the wild, but they are decreasing in numbers, so that's why we're starting to keep them in zoos. She just lives in quite a similar habitat to the orange-bellied parrots, so they're quite good friends, and they just get to hang out in here together for the time being. But back to the orange-bellied parrots. I don't know if you've managed to spot any.
One's feeding.
You spotted one, did you? Most of them are generally in this back right corner. They'll be hiding kind of in the bushy area somewhere. They're a very small little green parrot. They look exactly like this. Very good at camouflage to us. It's quite usual, or it's quite common to see them on the ground, like the first one that we saw, if you spotted that when we first came over. Most other parrots that you find in Australia and around the world will be hiding up in the trees somewhere. But orange-bellied parrots love to be on the ground. They're what we call a ground feeding parrot. So that means that they love just to eat on the ground, anything that they can find. Grass seeds are a really big thing for them, so they'll just be running around in the short or long grass and picking up all the seeds, and that's kind of their favorite thing to do. Unfortunately, that makes them very vulnerable to things like introduced feral cats and foxes. So that's quite a challenge for them in the wild. But even though they do spend a lot of time on the ground, they're also really good at flying. So you'd probably think maybe if they do spend a lot of time on the floor, they wouldn't be good at flying, but they're one of the best flyers for their size. So orange-bellied parrots are what we call a migratory parrot as well. And that basically means that they spend their summers and winters in 2 different areas of Australia. So between the summer and winter time, they make a really big flight, a big journey, where they'll travel like a really long distance. And the best way for me to explain that is, if you'd like to come over here, we've got a little map showing you how far they do actually travel in the wild. So during the winter time, you can find orange-bellied parrots anywhere along this little green line here. So this is mainland Australia, Victoria, and South Australia. Then during the summertime, every orange-bellied parrot will all fly down to this little red dot right here at the bottom of Tasmania. And if you're not sure how far that is, it's over 250 kilometers across the ocean, across Bass Strait. It's a really long way, and they are a very little bird. If you manage to spot them, they're about 45 grams on average. So realistically, they weigh the same as like a chocolate bar, and they have to fly down to the bottom of Tasmania and back every single year. And that's a big part of the reason why they are so endangered, that migration alone, but then you add on top of that the introduced feral cats and foxes, and then other things like habitat loss as well, because they do like to spend a lot of time along the coastline, along beaches, and us as people also like to use the beaches as well. So the best way we can help them is just working out a way where we can both live happily in the area together. But even though they have had quite a struggle in their lives, it isn't all bad news. So we do keep the orange-bellied parrots here, and we have had them here since 2016, where we breed them here and release them back into the wild, just like we do with the pakilas. But the way we release the orange-bellied parrots is by this little TV screen up here. It'll show you exactly how it works. So when we release the birds, we don't kind of just throw them out and hope for the best. We like to set them up in these big enclosures like we've got just here, with these little holes in it, so the birds actually get to choose when they want to leave. We don't force them to do anything that they don't want to. But usually it only takes maybe about a week, and every orange-bellied parrot will have flown off to go and figure out things on their own. They're quite happy to get out there and explore the world, especially when they are just young birds. So thanks to these breeding programs that we have here and in other zoos around Australia, orange-bellied parrots in the wild are increasing in numbers now, which is really great news. They have had quite a struggle over the last 20 or so years, but as of this year, we've had the most that we've had in the wild in the last 15 years. So we're really proud of that, and we are hoping to continue to increase their numbers into the wild in the future with more releases just like these ones. And just by coming here today, you guys are helping support these breeding programs, and you're helping save the orange-bellied parrot. So thank you, we really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
If any of you have any questions about the orange-bellied parrots or the pakilas, feel free to ask.
Thank you.
No worries.
Are they related to budgerigars? Because they look a lot like budgerigars.
In a way, yes. I don't know how closely they are related, but small parrots are all quite similar in a way, I guess. These guys are generally called grass parakeets. So they occupy a bit of a different habitat to budgies in the wild. Budgies are more kind of arid, deserty areas of Australia, but definitely in a way they'd be closer to budgies than they would like a cockatoo or something like that.
Yeah, because the beak and the nose bit looks...
Yeah, a lot of small parrots do have quite that similar look, I guess, to their face.
Feeding behind on feeding nest.
That's good.
The pakilas, what do they eat?
Oh, that's a good question,
They're
Charlie.
not very picky, so they're like most mice. They love lots of fruits and veggies, seeds, nuts. They even eat bugs, so insects are one of their favourite foods. But yeah, the pakilas aren't very picky with what they eat. They're quite happy to just eat whatever they can find.
I didn't even know one existed. Peculiar.
Ridiculous.
They used to be called
there's a
the
sheepy
New
rabbit.
Holland mouse, if you've ever heard of that.
Oh.
But if not, there are so many, there are probably hundreds of, like so many small, unique little Australian animals that most people haven't even heard of before. And a lot of them do struggle.
Can you hear barking? That's the barking owl. Big yellow eyes.
Have pretzel and wafer. They are our laughing kookaburras. So kookaburras are iconic to Australia. They're known for their laughing call, and they're often called the bushman's clock because you'll hear that laughing call at dusk and at dawn. So that call is actually a territorial call. So that call is letting other kookaburras know that this is my territory and you need to stay out. So it's not very often that you'll hear it through other times of the day. The only time you would hear it is if a kookaburra was trying to enter another kookaburra's territory. So the strength of that call is really, really important. Kookaburras won't enter a battle with each other unless absolutely necessary, so they'll rely on the strength of that call to let others know that they are stronger than the other kookaburra. So kookaburras are non-selective eaters. They will eat basically anything meat. So that includes snakes, so small snakes, reptiles, worms, bugs, insects, small mammals, and they have been known to eat
Canaries.
small birds. So you'll often see them sitting on a perch or a fence looking for their prey, and as soon as their prey arrives, they'll swoop down, they'll grab it, and then they'll go back up to a perch. And what they'll actually do is they'll whack their prey on the branch, and that kills it. So if it's a snake or something like that and it's too big for them to eat, that whacking kills them, and then can break them up small enough for them to eat. So it's really cool to see when we do kookaburra encounters in the afternoons, and I quite often warn the visitors that you might get covered in meat because they will whack the item on their arm, and some people have been covered in, like, they've been whacked with meat on the face and all sorts of things. So they're really cool. So they mainly live in southeast Australia, but they've been introduced into Tasmania and a pocket over in Western Australia as well. So these two were captive bred.
Where's the other one?
So they're sisters. They're least concerned, so we don't have any concerns about their conservation status. They're very brave birds, and they're very used to living around humans now. So if you're out having a picnic, they will quite often swoop down and steal a sausage or something off your plate. So because they are so used to living around humans, they've done very well for themselves. Yeah. Does anyone have any questions about them? No? No? You're good?
That's so sweet. Is it like one of the largest kingfisher?
They are.
Or is the largest
So
one?
we do have some other kingfishers in the enclosure. Just at the end there, you'll see there's some little tiny
The small
kingfishers.
ones,
Yeah,
yes.
they're about this big. So in comparison, these are the largest, and they're quite big compared to the other kingfishers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Love them.
And so Pretzel got her name because she has a beak that has a bit of a deformity, so it's not straight, and so we have to clip that every now and then. So that's why she's not in the wild. Yeah.
So well looked after.
Yes, they're very well
Yes.
looked after. We
Spoiled
love them
little.
very much.
Adorable.
Any other questions? No.
Good afternoon, nature lovers. My name is Siobhan, and I'd like to welcome you to experience conservation in action. Now, I'm a passionate nature lover, and I'm assuming, because you're all here, that you are curious to discover more about our diverse and fascinating country, and I'd like to introduce a fellow nature lover to help guide us along our journey.
Hello, my name is Callum, and I'm also excited to introduce you to some of our unique animals today. But before we begin, Siobhan and I would like to invite you all to join us on taking a moment to appreciate one of the best things that the Australian bush has to offer. And all you have to do is take a nice, big, deep, very dramatic breath. Are you ready?
You have all just taken in oxygen. Very well done, everyone. Now, this oxygen has been provided by the beautiful trees surrounding us. It's just one of the free gifts that our ecology offers, and it supports all creatures that call Australia home.
Iconic creatures like Blinker-Bill the koala, who lives up in the old gum tree, to Skippy the bush kangaroo, who rests in the shade beneath it. You may have already met some of these animals out in the park today.
These famous characters are just the beginning, and they belong to a fascinating family tree of animals that's unique to our island continent, known as the marsupials. Now, marsupials are mammals that are born really small and need to climb up into their mother's couch, which is where they live until they're too big for mum to carry, just like Sammy, our squirrel glider.
Gliders like Sammy are a colony animal. They like to live in a small family group called the tree hollows their home. When we are brushing our teeth and we're getting ready to snuggle up in bed, this is the time when Sammy and his friends are getting ready to come out and play. And they have a pretty extraordinary way of travelling around in the moonlight. Now, I'm going to make a guess as to how you may have arrived here at Moonlit today. I'm going to say you probably got here by car, by bus. Maybe some of you are lucky enough to live close enough to be able to walk. Well, Sammy and his friends, they're into some pretty extreme sports, and we're going to see if Sammy would like to show off his extreme sport of choice for us today, after he finishes posing. Are you ready, baby? Okay. Sammy here is 7 years old, which is a really great age for a glider, but he is getting a little bit older. So sometimes we do have to work off Sammy's time rather than our time. That's okay. Sometimes it just takes him a little bit to warm up. Okay, bud. There you go. Just had to warm up. You ready? Come on, Sammy.
Whee!
Skydiving. The gliders will use the trees as a platform to launch themselves off as they gracefully glide to surrounding branches, which they do in search of their supper, consisting of insects, pollen and nectar like I have in this syringe for them to eat. They are able to perform these amazing acrobatics thanks to a built-in parachute, which consists of a gliding membrane reaching from his front paws to his back paws, so when he jumps, keep an eye out. He looks like a funny kite, or like a nice fuzzy blanket. And they always land exactly where they intend to. That's one, buddy. Thanks to the use of their very long and very fluffy tails, which they use as a rudder to steer. However, Sammy is born a little bit differently. He has a curly tail, which means he actually cannot steer or control where he goes. So he is limited to the smaller glides that you see here on stage today, but that definitely doesn't stop him from wanting to show off. Squirrel gliders in Victoria, they are considered a threatened species. The main issue that they face is loss of suitable trees. Oh, you're speedy today, buddy. Loss of suitable trees that they use for sleeping in during the daytime.
That's so cute.
And the loss of these same trees that they use to find their food. Us humans, we use the trees in our daily lives and even to build our own homes. So we often forget about our wild animals, like Sammy, that need the trees just as much as we do. But because you're all nature lovers, there's something we can all do to help, and it's really simple. When I go to the supermarket, well, like a beautiful ballerina, yeah, he even has the pink tutu to match, so he can offer 3 spins. And he knows he's got something really special that he has that no one else in the audience has got. Alinta, what have you got that is just so special? He has wings.
Aww.
Shall we show that off again over here? What have you got? Beautiful. And being such a smarty pants, he knows his manners. He knows to wave goodbye. What a gentleman. He waves goodbye over here as well. Oh, good job.
So cute.
And most importantly for a show star, he knows when it's his turn to leave the stage.
No, you haven't. Some of you haven't. Well, I have 2 very beautiful reptiles here that I'm going to be showing you. So let me get the very first one out.
Woohoo, so exciting. Ooh, they're hiding. Oh, a blue-tongued lizard?
So here I have the very cute Patty. And Patty is known as a shingleback lizard.
Ooh, shingleback.
So even though Patty here is called a shingleback lizard, she has lots and lots of nicknames. My favourite nickname is the pinecone lizard. Not only does she look like one, she feels like one too. She's also called a sleepy lizard, a bob-tailed lizard, a stumpy-tailed lizard, a two-headed lizard, lots and lots of nicknames.
Well, because of the...
Now you're probably wondering, why does a lizard have so many nicknames? Well, I'm going to pop her on this log and we are going to see just how fast she is. Oh, got a little bit of movement.
Rest.
Sorry.
Change the batteries.
I don't know why she's called a sleepy lizard.
She just wants to sleep.
So she's not a very fast lizard. Come on, show us how fast you can go. So yeah, she is a very slow lizard. So if a predator like a, oh here we go, she's on the move now. Oh my goodness, she's actually running right now. This is pretty fast for Patty. Wow. So if a predator like a big bird of prey or even another reptile would try to eat her, even though she's very fast at the moment, she's probably not going to be able to outrun those animals. So she has to do something else. She has to trick them. The first way that she can trick them is by pretending to be a pine cone. She would hide underneath some of those leaves that might have fallen on the ground and blend in so that if they were flying over, they would just think that she is a pine cone blending in. She can also trick her predators with her tail.
Wow.
So her tail looks very similar to her head.
Wow. That's amazing, isn't it, Jack?
It does.
It does look very similar. So the reason that she has this tail here that does look very similar to her head is so that she can trick her predators. So they have a 50% chance of getting her head or her tail. She would probably prefer her tail to get bitten than her head because she would be able to protect herself. The first thing she can do is bite them back. Nobody wants to be bitten by their lunch. The second thing she can do is poke out that tongue. Can anyone over here tell me what colour her tongue is?
Blue.
Blue, exactly right. Now I think Patty here has a very cute tongue, but other animals would not agree with me. This is because bright colours in the animal kingdom can usually mean poison. She's just tricking though, she's not poisonous. Poison is something that if you eat or drink, it can make you really, really sick. So this animal that's trying to eat Patty would take one look and think, you look like a pine cone, you have two heads, and you could be poisonous, I'm going to go find something else to eat. And then she gets to live another day. So she doesn't need to be a super fast lizard.
Cute.
Can anyone guess what Patty's favourite thing to eat is? It's hard on the outside, soft on the inside, and has 1 foot.
1 foot.
Yes, a snail, exactly right. Now, lucky for Patty, she can actually catch a snail. They're pretty slow, so she doesn't need to run after them. You probably wouldn't see Patty here trying to catch something like a fly or even a cricket in the wild because it's just going to be a bit too fast for her. If she's even luckier, she'll find a slug, so she doesn't have to worry about spitting out that shell and getting all that yummy gooiness from inside. So if you guys live in Australia and you see one of these guys in your backyard, I recommend leaving them be because they get rid of all those snails that try and eat your garden. They're very good snail control. They also love plants, so Patty here does get a salad a few times a week, and as soon as I pop it in there for her, she is going towards it and eats all of it. So absolutely
Not
loves
for
her
starting
salad.
my garden.
That's for the garden.
Now if you have a look into Patty's eyes, you'll be able to see that she's a true romantic at heart. The reason that Patty here is such a romantic is because in the wild, if she was to find a mate, they would stay together for life.
Aww.
So Patty, what's the secret to a happy marriage? They stay apart 9 months of the year. That's the secret. So what they do is they spend about 3 months together, they'll have babies, and then they'll separate for 9 months. But every single year after that 9 months is up, they will find each other, which I just think is pretty amazing for such a slow-moving lizard. They can also live for up to 50 years. So that is a really long time to just have the one mate. Patty here is 20 years old, and we've also got another shingleback off display who is 43. So very impressive for a lizard. Can anyone tell me what the difference between a snake and a lizard is?
A lizard has legs.
Yeah, very common answer. Lizards have legs, but snakes do not. In Australia, we like to make it really hard, and we have legless lizards that look just like snakes. The difference is that lizards have ears. So do you see those holes in her head there? Those are her ears.
Oh, wow.
But snakes do not have holes for ears. They still have ears, but they are on the inside of their head. So that's the difference. However, if you do see an animal with no legs, please don't try and pick it up. Just assume it probably might be a snake. Alright, I'm going to pop Patty away and get out the next animal.
It was cute.
It's cute.
So this very, very cute snake here
Cute.
is named Austin.
Yay.
And Austin here is a rough-scaled python. So he does have those rough scales, as his name suggests. He is found in the wild in Western Australia, in those rocky, arid areas. So he wants to have those rough scales so that he can grip onto any rocks nearby. You probably wouldn't see him in the trees very often, but he still has that capability to climb as well. He does prefer the ground though. And he's got those beautiful blue eyes as well, if you can see. I believe this is the only snake in Australia that has those blue eyes. So I just think he is so special. Austin here is 7 years of age, and they can live up to 30. They do continue to grow for their whole lives. So I'm sure by the time he is 30, he's going to be much bigger than this now. Because he is a python, he does not have any venom. Venom is something that if you're bitten or injected by it, you can get really, really sick. So I would probably not be bringing out a venomous snake here in my hands for you all to meet. Even though Austin here does not have venom, he has another way of catching his prey. He can wrap really, really tight around an animal that he wants to eat, and then once it stops breathing, he would swallow it whole. Don't worry, Austin here is not looking at us like we are a delicious meal. We are way, way too big for Austin. He can only eat double the thickest part of his body. So Austin gets 2 rats once a month. That's it. He doesn't need to eat too often. This is because it takes about 7 days for him to digest his food. So the last thing he wants to do is spend his whole life just digesting food, because there's a bit just eating way too much. In the wild, snakes can go up to about 6 months without eating, depending on how big they are. We also give our snakes another 7-day holiday. So 7-day holiday every time they eat, another 7-day holiday when they are shedding their skin. This is because when they shed their skin, when they take off that outer layer so they can continue to grow, they actually have to shed their eyes first. This is because snakes do not have any eyelids. So this means that when they're shedding their eyes first, they are completely blind. So So we don't want to go into their enclosure to get them out if they can't see what's happening. This also means that they sleep with their eyes open and they never blink. Does anyone know what you should do if you see a snake in the wild?
Run.
Run. It's probably going to be your first instinct, but it's probably not the safest thing to do. Any other guesses besides run? Yep, what do you think?
Supposed to hear me.
Yep, so you can walk away slowly.
Climb the
There's
tree.
something I want you to do
Climb a
before
tree.
you walk away slowly. Yeah, what do you think? You're not sure?
Like Mum vs. Bee.
I want you to stand still if you see a snake in the wild. And this is because unless you are a snake expert, you're probably not going to know if that snake is about to shed or not. So you're not going to know if they can see you very well. We know that they don't have any ear holes like we do. They can still hear, but they probably can't hear as well as we can. You've probably noticed Austin has been poking out his tongue quite a lot. That is what Austin uses to pick up air particles around him, pop them into his mouth, and smell. His nostrils are mainly used for breathing, but that tongue he really relies on to smell what is around him. And it is a V shape, so he can smell in 2 different directions.
Wow.
But the main thing that he does rely on to know if there's a predator or prey nearby is vibration. So if you were to run away or even run up to a snake, they aren't going to know you're doing that. They are going to think they're about to be lunched. They're going to be eaten by something a lot bigger than them. The first thing a snake is going to do is just try and slither away. They don't want to interact with us. We are really scary to them. But if they feel like they have no other option, they will bite to protect themselves. Unless you are a snake expert, you probably aren't going to know if that snake is venomous or not. If you live in Australia, best to assume it probably is. But we still have pythons like Austin here. And they actually have up to 100 teeth. So they can still give a nasty bite if they feel like they have no other option. So just like any animal you might see in the wild, it's best to just stand still and let it move on and admire it from afar. Right, well thank you so much everyone for listening. I'll be